Welcome to Luvthemknives channel. Vosteed. Vosteed is getting thin. Wow. Thin. That is very, very thin. This is the parallel. This is an exercise in complete thinness and lightness and everything like that. So it's got the crossbar lock. Bank. There it goes. Just, like that. Just folds right up, kicks right out. But talk about hot weather, carry, something light. Wowee. Look at this. What's that? 2.28 ounces. You think? Okay. Now let's go. And I just went past grams. Bang. There we go. And they say 65 grams, so I got 64.7. We pretty close on that, right? Now in here is their metal box and all that kind of stuff. And I guess I'll pull it out here in a minute. Just like this. All right. Take that out of the equation. Back to the metal box thing. They've been kind of wavering around on their packaging a little bit. Sometimes a regular, just box, and other times this metal box. And I remember when it was kind of upside down and things fit in the other. I don't know. And then the thing went over the top, but okay, they've reversed that. Because we are living in a parallel universe. Parallel. And it's the parallel. Oh, and then this little thing, and underneath there's a little microfiber cloth. Okay. Are you done? Is that good enough? Are you happy? Yeah, it's not about the packaging. I keep telling you, but you won't listen. And it is the parallel crossbar lock 2.9-inch blade of 154 cm titanium handle 129. Oh, did you just see? Ooh, yeah, but this won't be out in time probably to catch that, but they were doing a 15% off. A 15% off. If I do have any discount codes or anything, I'll put them down below. Usually I don't for Vosteed Direct, but White Mountain Knives carries Vosteed, and LTK is your discount code for 10% off on anything on White Mountain Knives as many times as you want to use it. So if you catch this on there, then you can do that. And oh, by the way, let me kick this over here, because you can get it in the regular silver. You can get it with a black handle but silver blade with the little orange thingy McDingy, and I'm sure then that backspacers also matches the ambidextrous thumb stud. So in this case, it's the all black with the blue, okay? Which they're saying is out of stock, which is really weird that this would have been the first one to sell out. I would have thought it was this one. But, okay, that would have been my guess. There we go. And then they go into, ultra thin, engineer's task, 0.28 inches or 7.1 millimeter thickness, blah, 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 2.9-inch blade, etc. Supernova. Everybody's made out of a supernova, so that's okay. Here's an idea. Instead of telling me about the skyscraper and realization, tell me, what's the backspacer and the thumb studs made of? I'm thinking aluminum. I know this is titanium. I know this backspacer and thumb studs are not, they're not magnetic, but I'm thinking aluminum because I've never seen titanium quite hit that shade of blue. So I'm thinking of that. And of course, wire clip, right or left hand. So never mind. What was I saying? Okay, so here's your stats if you want to pause and read. 2.9-inch blade, 7. So at 3 and a 7. 3-inch blade, 7-inch overall. And blade width, blade thickness, 2 millimeter. 7 millimeter overall thickness. And so we can grab that and we can figure that one out right here. So it is 7.1 millimeter thickness at a 0.28 of an inch, and this is supposed to be 2 millimeter and it's 0.07 at 1.8 millimeter. Okay. Whew. So very light. And oh, by the way, just to, you know, wrap this up with the measuring stuff. 2.9, okay, up here, down here, right at 3 inch, and then overall 7 inch at 17.7 centimeters, okay? And up here, more like, what, 75, 74 millimeter blade length. So, not very complicated. One thing that I thought was interesting was, and let me grab my driver here, is that this, of course, is a number 8, okay? But then I was looking at this, and let's close it up. Okay, this here is a number 8, and this here is a number 8, and this here is also a number 8, but this and this are number 6s. Now, I think the deal is that these are holding, if you can see well enough to see the little insert as it ends right here. So there's a steel insert, obviously, it's coming up here, supporting this whole pivot, crossbar lock, rock and roll deal here, because you got to have something for your Omega springs to hook into, which is interesting. I didn't see a set of Omega springs or anything in here. And sometimes you'll get an extra pair or so. If you pull this back, it just drops down. But if you just do this, this is kind of difficult. You'll see that this is not just a smooth transition, and maybe it will smooth out in time, but it's kind of a push to get this out, and that's because you're doing it manually and you haven't retracted this crossbar lock. If you retract the crossbar lock, it's like this. Okay, I get it. So it is a little strange, and I don't remember other crossbar locks quite being like this. But so this is a little different, kind of difficult to shut. So I guess if you're just shutting it with one hand, you can do that, but it's really just drop shutty when you retract the crossbar. So just seemed a little odd to me. Other than that, no. This is very interesting that it's so light and so thin, and I can get all my fingers on it, so there's good. And wow, let's see if I got a little test piece of paper where I can at least, okay, yeah, that's a good factory edge. It's not scary sharp, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's right on, maybe a little on the plus side of standard factory edge. So, I mean, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, good ergos, titanium, 154 cm. You know, depending on which model you get, you know, if you get just a regular gray titanium one, it doesn't look like the ambidextrous thumb studs or the backspacer are any different color. But then you get the one with the silver blade and the black, then it's orange and orange, I'm thinking, and then this one is blue and blue. So there's that. I guess you can buy the silver and one of these and then swap backspacers and ambidextrous thumb studs out. I'm sure this is probably a number 6 that you could take off if you wanted to. So, and then of course this is your typical crossbar lock with the Omega spring and everything that goes in here. So just you got no choice. You got to come from the back, unscrew that, and take this, and this out. And then this is going to be something that's going to be, and you know what, I could, and I guess I will just do a little bit. I just don't want to pop the whole pivot out of here because it gets fidgety putting it back together. I've done enough axis type lock, crossbar lock knives. But let's just do this so we can kind of gander in the, just kind of see how this is set up. Now that, oh, well, they go all the way through. Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the end of these screws, by the way, when it goes through there. And of course, there's where you lay your pocket clip in when you reverse it. But yeah, I mean, that was, I forgot to mention that because I was looking at it going, oh, okay, here's the back spacer. Obviously, we have a little pin in there that's holding that in place. And then we've got this. Let me see. Does this come off? Or I think we got to let go of this. That's what I'm thinking. So let's do that. Because this is an insert. And so this would be like separating the outer scale from the liner, which is normally what you have to do regardless. And yeah, that's what happened. Okay, there you go. And so here's your little pocket in here where your Omega spring sits. And okay, so this is not magnetic. I'd bet anything that's aluminum, though. Okay. So here it is. Here's your Omega spring. And looks like you've got 3 different little areas. So it's kind of like a clutch lock in adjustability. Looks like you got a captured pivot as well. And then I don't know. Let me see. Let's see how difficult this really is not going to be here as far as this goes. And of course, your Omega springs are particular to which side they're on. And let me swing this down and see if I can wrangle this out of here. It's kind of starting to come. There it goes. Okay. That was hooked up there pretty good. And then you have, we have this little stop right there. Well, it must have been coming through back in here. Wow. Good thing I didn't lose that, huh? Yeah, that was what was hanging on to this. I'm sorry, because this, okay. So this is what was up in here. And this is the little pin that we just pulled out of here. Okay. And here we go with this. Now, I was just wondering if I could move this enough, and I don't think I can, to see what we got in here as far as if we got, see, and I'd have to take the whole other side apart, which is one thing I was wanting to avoid, actually, because you got to push this pivot back through, and I don't want to do that. Okay, well, I guess we just have to, yeah, I mean, that to me seems like that's got to be bearings, and you know what? Where is my, let me see if I can see. They're bearings. Okay, they're bearings. Okay. Thanks for wasting my time. No. But yeah, they're bearings. Okay, yeah, I knew they were swinging free for some reason. So yeah, they're bearings in there. But that's as far as I want to go on that little dog. I'm telling you for sure. All right. We got it. Opened it up and just kind of peeked through the liner to see the bearings in there, but that was it. Not pushing this one out. I didn't need to do a cleaning on the bearings or do any of that, so there's no point in doing that, and I've disassembled and reassembled enough crossbar / axis lock type knives. Nah, don't need to. But this is the Parallel, and it's titanium 154 cm. It's not a very expensive knife. It's in the 115 whatever, 129 range before discount. So you might be lucky enough to be able to catch this at just a little over $100, which would be great. And you know what? It's a very lightweight. I love Vosteed knives. They're always doing something interesting. So for sure, this would be one to pick up. I think you'll find yourself carrying this a lot because it's just so easy to carry. All right, take care, my friends. You know what we do? We love them knives. You guys stay sharp.